the Cheaters game release. It is in stores already, and you can get it tonight at the show, of course, over at the Mucky Duck. Bruce is right here with us in the Kpft studios, talking about his life, his music, and his wife who's not here. Let's talk about her for a little bit. Hey, we were talking about her rockabilly band, but let's take it back even further with her. Her mother was kind of in theater and sang some songs around the house, and that kind of got her started. Is that right?
Well, I think so. I mean, that's another way that we were completely different. I didn't know anything about the musicals and stuff, and so her mom was into that kind of thing, and she knew all of that and would do regional theater, and Kelly would be around, you know, The King and I or Oklahoma or any of that kind of stuff, and which you know, I'm just occasionally seeing those things now. So it was another way that and I think one of the ways that kind of pointed her towards singing and showbiz and all that, but was a really different experience. You know.
What about you around your house? Now, let's talk about your family, of course. Right. Charlie Robison is a big recording artist, and your sister Robin Ludwig was here on the program not too long ago.
Yeah, great songwriter.
So is there any other siblings that are musicians that we don't know about?
Well, my sister Mimi is still holding out on us. She's a realtor at this point, but it seems like it happens in the end.
She's got an album in her somewhere.
Probably so.
All right. Now, what was going on around your house growing up? I mean, was Dad playing the guitar a lot? Or?
It wasn't like that at all. Bandera was a lot of music in Bandera.
So it was just the town you grew up in?
Well, sort of. And Charlie didn't really play. I was in a garage band, and then I kind of stayed in music. We always wanted to go to Austin, kind of, both when we left school, and it just seemed like a place where people were playing music and sleeping late and stuff, and so we didn't have any other plans. And we moved there in about '89, and Charlie joined a band, and so I did too, and then I started writing songs, and we just kind of fell into it. So.
And when did Robin? Did she follow you guys a little bit later?
Yeah, later. She's younger, and then she's on her maybe close to her third record now, and but yeah, she's came at it a little later.
Okay, very nice. And now I know we talked about your different styles, Kelly's and yours, but I guess it was just a matter of time before this album happened. Is that right?
You know, in hindsight, I suppose, but and there were a lot of things when I started thinking about it, and then somebody sent me a song from Waylon Jennings and Jesse Coulter, and I only knew like Storms Never Last, but then I looked and they had done a bunch of stuff together, and of course Johnny and June did 1,000,000 songs together, and so it made me think of like, well, you know, this would be a great thing. Who knows how far it'll go, but we should do this, and you know, and now we definitely want to make another record because it's really a lot of fun. It's like a fresh start.
And you were saying earlier that that some of your songs she could sing and it worked together and some didn't. I think I read in an article, maybe it was the one in the Chronicle this week, that you guys had recorded or worked on about 30 and then cherry picked 12 out that really worked.
You know, probably more than that.
Right.
I mean, because it's really fun that way. Because honestly, when I would go in to make my records, and I don't even know how other people do it, it's such a leap of faith. You have no idea. You're going to go in the studio. You have no idea how these things were going to sound. So it was really fun. We would send these things off with a guitar vocal to the producer, and I would know I was like, these are really going to be good. You know, they really sound great, just like that. You know, sure. And I always thought that was the mark of a good song. Anyway, you know, like Beatles songs, you can just play them on acoustic guitar. They're all amazing.
Sounds great anywhere, any shape, any format.
Pretty much.
Bruce Robison live in the Kpft studio, playing with his wife tonight over at the Mucky Duck, and he's going to play live for us right now. Bruce, what are you going to sing for us today?
This is a song. It's probably one of the newest ones of mine, and it's a good example of actually how we collaborate. Kelly knew I had this song started and I couldn't finish it, and she stayed on me to finish it. I like that one. Finish it. And then it was actually during that movie when I was around Christopherson all the time that I surreptitiously. I bought his records. I knew the hits, but I started listening to all these other songs on the in-between on the records, and so I think listening to him so much kind of got me in a headspace where I was able to finish the song. It's called Leavin', and it's definitely better with Kelly on it. There's a man upon a mountain, he's screaming at the stars, says his love is gonna save him. And his passion is on fire, and if he listens very closely, in a distance he can hear the tires a-squealing. You see, the words we tell each other, they're the ones we want to hear. Times you throw them out and they come right back, just trickle down your ear. And then other times you take a chance, all you're gonna hear is the pain appealing. Yeah, but many things they change. When they left you barely breathing, but the girls all look the same when they're leaving, when they're leaving. Yeah, this thing'll have you flying, boy, you're feeling 10 feet forward, just dragging like a junkie, just looking for one more. You know, I spent some time busted up and bit of counting cracks up in the ceiling. Yeah, but many things they change. When they left you barely breathing, but the girls all look the same when they're leaving, when they're leaving. Yeah, but springtime blows the empty days, and though they're clinging by their fingers in the river of my mind, thickly through the hazy fog past just waves, it's getting far behind. Yeah, but everything keeps on changing, but it's all just the same, you know, deadly serious and yet somehow still a game. But who's a crazy fool that keeps on changing what the winning hands revealing? But I ain't never had no silver tongue, but I give it all I got. But old Bulo, he was right, it only burns you when it's hot, and the strings are tied up tight, and the scars, you know, they're never really healing. Yeah, but many things they change. When they left you barely breathing, but the girls all look the same when they're leaving. Said the girls all look the same when they're leaving.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Bruce Robison live in the Kpft studios. You know, you said it sounds better with Kelly, but yeah, I can't see that song getting any better. But I guess you can show folks tonight when she shows up at the gig tonight at the Mucky Duck. The new album is Cheater's Game. There's some amazing songs on it, and there will be available for purchase this evening. Now, you know, so many folks, you guys have your own fans. Kelly has her own fans, and you have your own fans. Now, for folks who are Bruce Robison fans, do you have something in the forecast for those fans?
Well, I you know, I'm excited that the business is changing so much. You know, this was it was a wonderful experience, and but it was funny. We kind of did it old school. You know, golly, you got to raise a bunch of money, and you spend all this time, and you do all these things you can't hardly do anymore. You know?
Right.
And so, and we were able to do that because it was she and I, and we were doing this for the first time. So, I'm kind of excited about that idea of recording a song and putting it straight out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like, okay, this is what I did today digitally, you know, and then it's out there on the web, and move on to the next thing, you know, and give it away or stream it or whatever it is. It's like the 50s again, you know, and regional radio becomes even more important, you know, and all of us that are still kind of
hanging on
in
real.
there. Exactly. And so, you know, that's the other thing about traveling around is there's so many folks out there, you know, who are kind of fighting a good fight, and people who are, you know, finding places to hear what they like. And so, you know, I just want to be a part of that. That's what I want, you know. There ain't nothing else I can do. So.
Sure. You know, being covered by the Dixie Chicks and having them turn your song into a #1 hit, and then doing it again with Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, and then George Strait. I mean, what a great feeling to have.
It really was. It was an amazing thing. It still is. And golly, I wonder if I'll ever get tired of playing those songs, because I just love it. I mean, last night, you know, it was It was a great party, you know. But then, you know, you play Wrapped and everybody dances, and I see them out there singing it and stuff.
Sure.
It really is the greatest feeling, and as a music fan myself, you know, I mean, I'm just like, oh wow, that's fantastic.
You know, not only do you have to write a great song, but how do you market it in a way that it's picked up by somebody famous? Let's say there's some up and coming songwriters out there. How do you get it? How do you get it out there like that?
I have no idea.
Right.
Yeah, and it's harder than it ever was. I mean, back then, those guys all heard the songs off my records, again, from people playing them and passing them around, you know, and so...
get your music out there, really.
You do, you know, and I spent a lot of time in Nashville, you know, knocking on doors, and then, like, the people that I knew... it ended up becoming, you know, middle in the labels and stuff, and they knew about me from years before, and they ended up cutting my songs, and so, you know, it's probably like any business in that way, you know. There was and getting to know folks and not having them hate you, you know, and get along. It was a lot of fun. I spent 10 years in that, going back and forth to Nashville before I ever got a song cut or made a penny. So it was a lot of fun.
And your wife was running with the right social circle as well. So
she always had a better, and that's what she brings to this project, man. She's got this amazing kind of BS detector, and she's very. I'm very scattered, and sometimes I can just go out all these places, and she can. You know, she may not know exactly how to phrase it or something, but she'll say, "No, that's not the way to go," or "Yeah, that is the way to go." And her music always has a very consistent vibe in that way, and she knows what's cool, and she knows what instinctually, you know, what's a good way. Where I'm just all over the place.
Sure. Bruce Willis live in the KPFT. I'm sorry.
That's happened before.
So, you know, I'm sure it has. I think I did that in my sleep last night and was like, wait a minute, I cannot do that tomorrow on the air. Kelly Willis.
Nobody ever says Kelly Robison, but they occasionally say Bruce Willis, that's for sure.
Kelly Willis and Bruce Robison. Bruce is here with us today. They're both hitting the stage tonight.
Yippee-ki-yay.
At the
Isn't that what Bruce Willis says all the time?
Yes.
Yippee-ki-yay. Okay.
Yippee-ki-yay? Yeah, I was a diehard. Yeah, I don't think he says that much anymore, but, you know, when he gets 80, they'll put out the 10th edition of that and really blow people away. You hit the stage. There's 2 shows tonight or just one?
There is 2 shows.
7 and 9:30?
That's correct.
Are they sold out yet?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, call the Mucky Duck. Go to the website.
Hopefully we'll
out.
make a spot for you. So come on down. We got this great thing. We got the LP, and it's got the CD on the inside if you get it. So the LP is beautiful. It sounds great. You know.
Kelly, yourself, anyone else joining you on stage tonight?
No, just oh yeah. Well, we got a bass player and a stand-up bass and steel guitar.
Okay.
So it's a groovy.
So you got a band.
It's a groovy combo.
Very nice. Are these guys coming in from Austin?
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Anybody we need to know about?
Jeff Queen is on the steel and the electric guitar, and Lunchmeat Ludwig. John Ludwig is on, my brother-in-law, the mayor of Wimberley, is on the stand-up bass.
Very cool. Yeah. All right. Hey, man, thanks for coming in. Nice to meet you.
Oh, man, great to be here. Thank y'all for everything.
We'll see you back here real soon. And we're going to play one more off of the CD, and But I Do is the name of the song.
Do, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this piece.
Really cool guy. That was one of the ones that we found. Like, I knew that I liked the song, but it just didn't make much sense to me. And I wrote it with this guy, Jed Hughes, who's an amazing guitar player. And so it was one of the ones that I had put away, written it years before, and then we picked up. And it has this kind of, it's amazing little thing. It's like a cadence, a song when it works in harmony. And this one, you know, we sing the whole thing in harmony, and once we started singing, and it just came alive.
Magic. And here it is right here at KPFT. Bruce, great to meet you, and thanks for coming in. Have a wonderful show tonight, and next time you're in town, stop on by, all right?
We'll do it. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you real soon.
Hey, that was fun.